Chris, thank you so much for being with us today.
No, thank you for being with me today.
Pleasure is all ours. I don't even honestly know where to start because you've been in so many roles over the years. The number must be, I don't know, like over 9,000? So, I had to get that out of the way or it was going to drive me back like crazy, okay? So, behind the voice actors has you at 538 credited roles. So, what is the latest project you've worked on that you're able to talk to us about?
Most recently, I was cast in Ghost in the Shell Arise as the character Mato. I'm also in it's the broadcast dub of a show called Yona of the Dawn. Are you familiar? Yeah. Oh, only one girl goes. I know it. And those two both went. And let's see, what else am I working on? I did a really funny part recently in a show called Rolling Girls. If you're familiar with that. Okay. I guess until Funimation releases it, you guys don't know. Let's see. And I played this character called Vegeta in a show called Dragon Ball Z.
No way!
Alright, so there are many of us here, myself included. When we watched Dragon Ball Z, we could never really identify with Goku. I don't know about you, as a kid, I was mad. I got pissed off. My family didn't work out the way it was supposed to. My girlfriend dumped me. It just felt like life kept kicking me in the balls. And then I watched Dragon Ball Z, and then there was this Goku guy. He always smiled, and he always did the right thing, and he had a heart as pure as gold. And I wanted someone to come along and slap that grin off his face. Do you think there are millions of other fans, people out there that love Vegeta for similar reasons?
Yes. Everyone who has taste loves Vegeta. Everyone who likes characters who are only popular because they have a head injury. Like Kakarot. I will give him credit as a very formidable, although handicapped warrior.
Yeah, I actually love Vegeta as a character. Of all the characters I played, Vegeta still is my favorite. And I don't know if it's because I played Vegeta or maybe not. I don't like Goku at all. The character annoys me. He annoys me so much. I record Sean, I love Sean, but boy do I hate Goku. Then again, if it weren't for Goku, the show would only be about 15 episodes long.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, Frieza's here. Okay, let's smash her in the face. Okay, goodbye. Show over, roll credits.
So, the early days of Funimation is starting. Can you tell us a little bit about the golden years?
That's like golden Frieza. Let's see. It's so funny, you usually refer to something as the golden years as like the grandpa years or like the good old days kind of thing. And I wouldn't necessarily call those years the good old days in all sense. Like, we were racing so hard to get Dragon Ball Z on TV in 1999. Because I started at Funimation, and they only had 4 or 5 employees at that time. In 1999, they called me in to do some dub called Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. It was like a made-for-TV, kind of direct-to-DVD movie, OVA, of the Dragon Ball series. And I played Yamcha. And, yeah! Okay. Coolest character in all Dragon Ball Z. Honestly, like, my friends and I believe that it's possible that War and Chaozu don't exist. I just want to... And it makes Dragon Ball way funnier if you imagine, like, I've got to go get Chelsea. You're like, sure, go ahead. You're useless anyway, so. I don't know, I have to see if Poir's okay. Like, yeah, why don't you go do that? I would say the golden era of Funimation to me is right now. Like, right now is such an awesome time for Funimation. They have so many incredible shows. Back then, we were recording 200 hours a week trying to get just 1 or 2 shows out. But now Funimation has 12 rooms where they're constantly recording, and you can go from room to room to room to room to room and just keep bouncing from place to place and do all sorts of weird stuff all day. And Funimation is an amazing place. They really look after the shows that they have. They really try and maintain the integrity of the shows. And I think I'm really happy to work with them.
Hey, one time you were quoted, this may be an older quote, about dubbing, and that when it's not done well, it sucks. But when people do it well, it works. But sometimes you lose a little bit of the Japanese cultural references. I had some friends that were from Japan that watched Sergeant Frog dub, and I was expecting them to have the same experience I did. I busted a gut. I was on the floor laughing. I had to stop at the 3rd episode because I couldn't take it anymore because I had a hernia. And then I showed it to my Japanese friends, and they watched it, and they're like, yeah, that's okay. That's pretty cool. I'm like, well, this was not at all what I expected. So then I went back and showed them the Japanese, and I guess something culturally clicked in them, and they thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys handle those cultural differences when you're dubbing?
Yeah, sometimes those are the hardest part for the writers to write. Because the Japanese think puns are really funny. They really like puns a lot. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you watch the Japanese translation. They watch the subtitled versions of these, or you're familiar with it. So it's probably not the right venue to talk about people not understanding cultural references in Japanese, but especially in Sergeant Frog, there's just so many weird things. If you were to directly translate some of these lines in Japanese, it'll say something like, "Man, you look very chair today." And that just leaves us going, huh? And I guess they would say that because like chair sounds like stare or something. Anyway, or like this afternoon, I posted a picture of the VIP bathroom here that has red carpet on the floor, and somebody made some really bad joke and then said, look, I guess I'll just be going. I said, no, you can't leave now that you're in. That's funny. Japanese would go, we don't get it, that's just disgusting. Americans are so weird. Which would be the first time they've ever said that about us. Anyway, working on dubs is awesome because it's amazing that so many people like the dubs, and I think watching them for a lot of people is letting them relax their brain a little bit, just to watch something the way you normally watch it, so you don't have to read a bunch of stuff, and then you can appreciate the art that's on the screen too.
All right, funny joke time. How can you tell how powerful a dragon is?
By the size of his balls. You guys know that, right? Yeah, and I can't drag it huge balls. Very powerful, precocious. Anyway.
All right, hey, let's talk a little bit about how you prepare in the studio. Could you talk a little bit about what is in a sound booth? What does it look like? You know, for the fans, this is a magical place. This is the Wizard of Oz kind of stuff. Can show us what's behind the green curtain.
Recording booths vary from place to place, and they can either be super fancy, or they can be super crappy. And some of them are beautifully air conditioned, and you're in there and you're just like, whoa, and they have like little water bottles and fruit and stuff piled up for you, and they have people that just come and fan you and treat you really awesome. And then there's some studios that are just like, get in the box, dude. If it's too hot, shut up. So it really just depends. Those small hot recording booths can be torturous, especially when you're doing like a show like Dragon Ball. It takes a lot of effort. I mean, the room doesn't even have to be hot to begin with, for it to be hot halfway through your session, because your just body temperature just raises the temperature of the room. But studios vary greatly. Like I love working in studios. It's
How many of you guys have ever worked in acting or film or anything like that? Okay. Yeah, people who are on camera actors get a lot of attention, and that is great. And they deserve it, because I can't stand being on film sets. Most of the time, it's just you get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to just wait until 10 o'clock in the morning before you do anything. And then you have to do something for about 30 minutes, then you have to wait until 2 o'clock in the afternoon to do one more thing. Voiceover sessions aren't like that. You show up, usually it's a normal time, like 10 in the morning. You can wear whatever you want to wear. You can do whatever you pretty much want to do. It's usually very, very comfortable. And the most you can usually be in the booth is about 4 hours for any given session. Unless it's one of my sessions, and I make people stay there for